Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to take a look at a really spicy deck that I've seen doing the rounds, and that is what I'm calling Raging Wellspring. So this is pretty much a bolt list. Like, it's obviously quite a bit different from a regular bolt list, but we're obviously playing Raging Bolt, but we are including one copy of Wellspring Mask Ogerpon. Now I must admit, when I saw this list I was like, who made this? Was you drunk? But then I started to see gameplay of the deck, and I was like, okay, this actually could work, Like, it has, the lines that a typical Bolt would still have. Obviously, there is a couple of changes, which we will be talking about that. But honestly, this is actually not a bad idea. It's another Terra Pokemon for us to activate, obviously, our Noctowls and everything. And we have changed the Ace spec from the usual Prime catcher that Bolt typically plays. But don't worry, we have included a second copy of Boss to offset that. Of course, we are still playing the Teal Mask Ogerpon to get energy into play, to obviously increase our Bolt's damage, and also draw us a card. That's pretty standard. Now, I've also included Slither Wing, because obviously we are playing Energy Switches in this list, keyword there, Switches. And Burning Turbulence for 120 is a pretty good attack. It deals with Blood Moon, deals with the Pikachu EX, and is also pretty good at dealing with Fez. I've also added in the Raging Bolt, the baby one. Obviously, we're not always going to be able to use Wellspring, and obviously there are going to be games where it's prized. So, we are going to have to deal with that, but we can at least do that, so to speak. And then, of course, we are playing two regular Raging Bolt EX. Obviously, it wouldn't be a Bolt list without him. But I wanted to include the baby one, because obviously we're not always going to be able to use the Wellspring. So that's sort of my thought process, is cover your bases, and, well, we might as well. We're also still playing two Fan Rotom. Obviously, this is a good single prize attacker anyway, but obviously the Fan Call attack, well, I say attack, it's an ability, is pretty useful. And then, of course, we have the 3-3 Noctowl Hoothoot line. Now, I was playing an 80 HP Hoothoot, but I'll be honest, the amount of Dragon Ball players that are actually playing a Holucha was frighteningly low, so I've just stuck with this 70 HP ones. Obviously, I still think playing an 80 HP one is correct, but of course you can make your own decision on that. So, let's go to the deck list, and let's have a look. And welcome to the deck list. So, as I said, this is a very traditional Raging Bolt list on paper, but of course we have had to add a few extra things to obviously accommodate for this new Wellspring package. Now, we are only playing one Wellspring Mask Ogerpon. You could very easily put a second one in here, but for the sake of consistency, I'm not going to. You can, but again, I'm not going to. Same with the 80 HP Hoothoot, like I mentioned in the opening part. You can put one of those in. I've chosen not to, but again, this is an option that you can do. So we're going to play 3 Hootoots, 3 Noctowls, 3 Teal Mask Ogerpons, 2 Raging Bolts, 2 Fan Rotoms, 1 Wellspring Mask Ogerpon, 1 Squawkabilly, 1 Latias, 1 Fezandipiti, 1 Mew, 1 Slither Wing, and of course 1 Raging Bolt. Now, one thing I will say is I think this list needs another ancient Pokemon that isn't Bolts and or Slitherwing. I think it could use a Koraidon, the little Koraidon. The reason for that is because Mega Kangaskhan is becoming more and more popular. Obviously, they do, if it's just the deck that you mainly run into, which is the Fortress, they do play Protective Goggles, so that could be an issue, but obviously we do have the Bolt to obviously push into that. But the point is that I think playing the Koraidon would probably not be a bad idea. Maybe swapping out for the Bolt, but obviously the Bolt is here in case we whiff on the Ogerpon. So it's an easier time setting this guy up, and, it's easier to get this guy going than it is a Wellspring. So that's my thought process. So we're playing 4 Sada, 2 Crispin, 2 Boss, because obviously we aren't playing Prime Catcher. Normally Bolts play 1 Boss, 1 Prime. 1 Iono. For item cards, we're playing 4 Nest Ball, 3 Ultra Ball, 2 Earthen Vessel, 2 Night Stretcher, 2 Energy Switch, 1 Energy Retrieval, 1 Pal Pad, 1 Sparkling Crystal as our Ace spec, because ideally we want to be using our Wellspring, 2 Area Zero Undernet, 1 Jamming Tower, 5 Basic Grass Energy, 3 Basic Lightning Energy, 3 Basic Fighting Energy, and finally, the spiciest card of them all, the 1 Basic Water Energy. Obviously, the Water Energy can go all over the place. Like, it can go on the Noctowls, it can go on a Mew, it can go on a Fez, it can go on a Bolt, because obviously you can use Dragon Headbutt. Could use Fan, could go on the Wellspring, could go on the Squawkabilly. So, you know, the water energy is here just to cover our bases in case Crystal is prized, because obviously we can use Energy Switch plus Manual Attachment plus Crispin. So we have a lot of lines in this deck. Like I said, the only thing that I would want in here, which I haven't added in, is the Koraidon. Obviously, if you're not sure which Koraidon I'm on about, this is the one that I'm on about. He does Unrelenting Onslaught, and obviously he has a fighting type, which is pretty useful. And he does 180 damage to a Pokemon if we used an Ancient Pokemon last turn. Well, an Ancient Pokemon's attack. So if we've used Raging Bolt, and obviously they come up with a Kangaskhan and one-shot our Raging Bolt with a heads flip, we can then go Sada plus Manual Attach to the Koraidon and one-shot their Kangaskhan in return. Obviously, against the Tord deck, we should have an easy time anyway, because obviously we do have the option to one-shot their stuff. And, you know, it's one of those that we have at least lines at taking out Monkey Dories as well. We have, obviously, lines to take out other things. So we do have options in that matchup, but obviously we do have the Wellspring for the evolving matchups, which typically Bolt sometimes does struggle into, because obviously if it prizes its baby Raging Bolt, it can be an issue. But at least now with the Wellspring, we're able to take out 2 Pokemon at the same time. So, let's give this list a go, and see how we do. And welcome to the first game. We've paired against someone in Togepi rank. I don't agree with the matchmaking doing that, but that's another story for another day. I brought that up before, to be fair, and I don't agree with it. It's not fair on the person who's just climbing the ladder, you know? Like, have it set so that within that 100 mark, so like 300 to 400, 300 to 200, etc., lock them into that sort of like matchmaking, because then they have similar skill level, so to speak. Obviously it's not skill-based matchmaking per se, but you know, it's at least something that they can use. Okay, not a bad start. We can start the Teal Mask. Are we going first or second? They're going first. Dark sleeves, but that doesn't always tell the whole story. I do like the look of these dark sleeves though, they're very nice. I just play with the standard Pokemon TCG Live stuff, because then, you know, we're not showing off any, like, custom stuff and all that jazz. Plus, it saves me going, ooh, I want this deck list for this deck, and I want this sleeve for this deck, and yeah, I'd be there all day, let's put it that way. Ooh, Hydreigon. Okay. Crystal can actually come up here. Very much so. We could get swing with Teal Mask Ogerpon very, very early. Okay, this could get interesting. Because obviously it is Grass Week, so we can use that. And if we need to increase our damage later, we do play Energy Switch. This is not a bad idea, actually. I'm cooking here, folks. That's what happened. That's what's happening. Get rid of the oven, that's fine. Because obviously you are going first. He's probably doing a prize check right now, which is fine. I don't mind him price checking. I don't mind when people price check. I'll just say to them, just don't take the mic. Grabbing 2 basic Dark Energy. That is completely fine. And a Dark Energy attach. Anything else, my friend? Because you may be losing this dino. If I get another Grass Energy, that is. I could prize a load of Grass Energy. But still, we can bench the Bolt, bench the Squawk, Nest Ball for a Fan, start setting up, and then we can go Crystal, Teal Dance, Squawk, and hopefully hit another Energy. Okay, I don't know what he's doing, but, well, he's clearly not happy at seeing a Teal Mask, so I think he's doing a bit of slow playing. Well, I say slow playing, he's just not doing any actions. Alright, let's see what we can do with this start. Oh, well, there's the answer. We'll start off with a Teal Dance. And, well, we don't need to Nest Ball for Fan, because he just decides to show his face. We don't even need to use Squawk now, then, because this hand is cracked. Like, genuinely, this hand is cracked. So we can go bench you, Nest Ball. Do we threaten the Wellspring? I think it's correct to. So I think we'll threaten the Wellspring. We'll then attach Sparkling Crystal, and Myriad Leaf Shower take out the Dino. Oh, I love these funny decks. They are definitely something that I love. And there's a Sada off the prizes, so that's pretty good. Nice. My opponent will not be happy with that play, but right there. Like I say, having the Crystal makes so many more lines open to Bolt. Like I said, we was able to donk that Hydreigon in there, or that Dino. So we had the option to do it, even though we, of course, don't do a lot of damage anyway. Okay, there's boss. That's fine. What are they gonna boss? They're bossing the Hoothoot. That's fine. We could just grab Crispin here then, can't we? Varoom, interesting. So 30, 60, 90. So we do need to Crispin to this Ogerpon, or to the Ogerpon. Who needs Wellspring when we can just freaking Crispin all day long? Alright, so we can Ultra Ball away you two. Grab ourselves another Noct. That way we get double Noct value. We're going to do the one on the bench first. Because then we can Sada, well not Sada, grab Crispin plus Area 0. So we do that, we then Crispin, grabbing a Grass and a Lightning. Take the Grass to hand, don't do that, Joe. We can then get Teal Dance Draw. Pal Pad's not particularly useful. So we can free retreat into the Ogerpon, evolve to the Noctowl. We can then Jewel Seeker for Nest Ball plus a Earthen Vessel. That way we get a bit more value off of our stuff. So we can Nest Ball for the Ogerpon. We have prize 1, but it's not a major deal. I can then Vessel away the Pal Pad. We don't need to worry about that. I'll grab these, and I'm going to grab you as well. Obviously, we have the Lightning in there anyway. So then we can Teal Dance to the Ogerpon. Get that Bolt there. We'll attach... Do I attach Fighting here? I don't think we need to. I'll do that. And then Myriad Leaf Shower for 150. Taking out the Chansey. No Blissey shenanigans for you, my friend. And there's sliding off the prizes. I thought I didn't see you when I did my deck check earlier. Well, pseudo deck check. Obviously, Varoom does resist grass, but we're doing more than enough. We're doing 120 right now, minus 30. My opponent is not going to be very happy with my plays, but hey, that's what the crystal's here for. It's what this deck is designed to do. Sorry if you can hear a very annoying Mr. Crow in the background. He's currently cawing his mouth off. He's a bit of a local celebrity on our street, let's put it that way. He comes with about 3 of his friends, and he just sits around in the trees cawing all day, just to, you know, be a pain. But we like him, you know. We don't disrespect the crows, because crows actually hold like grudges and stuff. But what I've read, they can actually hold grudges for like, I don't remember how long it was, but I think they hold it for about a year or 2 years if you like upset a crow. It's quite interesting to actually learn about. There's the stadium bump. We can get rid of one of the, or we can get rid of both Noctowls because we don't need them. Yes, we know, Mr. Crow. I can still hear you through my headphones. We get the point. But no, my opponent needs the Artisan here to obviously not get donked. Then we can, of course, Sada to the Bolt and start doing some shenanigans. We could also retreat the Ogerpon and start doing some shenanigans there, which I think is correct, because we get more draw that way. We get more value off of the Sada is what I'm trying to say. So we retreat this 1 energy off. We can then Sada the Lightning there and there. What are you doing? That only counts for colorless. What is my opponent doing? Genuinely, what is he doing? That's only for colorless because it's on a basic. It's only if it's a stage 2 it provides energy cost. Oh, I don't know, but hey, it's technically giving Teal Mass more damage. So if he ever puts like Hero Escape on this, that could matter, technically speaking. But I don't know. My opponent is definitely starting to slow play though. Like, they're not happy with what's happened, and to be honest, I wouldn't be. They've retreated the Neo Upper into the Chansey. Are they counting how much damage I do? I do 120, mate. It's a shame we don't have a way to get Wellspring going so quickly, but to be fair, Crystal on the Ogerpon, the Teal Mask Ogerpon, is just funny. So we're going to retreat into the Bolt with the Fighting Energy on. We will then Sada, the lightning and the grass. That's pretty good, actually. So we'll get rid of... Actually, no. I'll get rid of the Fez. I'll grab a grass, and we will grab the water. We will then Teal Dance. We're not even using any energy switches yet. I can attach the water energy to the Wellspring, and we can use Bellowing Thunder. We will take out you, and we can get rid of you. I think my opponent's just trying to delay the inevitable, bless him, but there's not much he can do about it. There's a fighting energy off the prizes, so that's pretty useful. Obviously, he may think, oh, you have no energy in play, you can't do anything, I'm going to gust your Fan Rotom. Don't do that, mate. Night Stretcher, he's definitely just delaying the inevitable. I think he's trying to make me work for my win, which, fair play to him, you know, I did get the Teal Mass donk on his only dino. You know, like, he could still actually come back from this, you know. Like, there is a world in which he comes back from this. Now he's resorting to slow playing, because he's failed the Night Stretcher, which I didn't even think you could... you can't fail a Night Stretcher. There's an Iono, though. He could Rigidify, make my job a bit harder. There's an Energy Switch and a Energy Retrieval. We could... No, we need Latias for that. He's still put up a fight, though. He's actually going to make me discard 2 energy to deal with this room. Because if he uses Rigidify, it takes 30 less damage, so I have to deal 100 damage, essentially. No, he's just going to retreat, which is odd. I don't know why he's doing so. He shouldn't be retreating. He should have just used Rigidify. Force me to use more energy. But hey, you do you, Chief. If we got a... well, if we had Latias instead of Mew, what is he doing? Why are you giving me the Dino? Ultra Ball. Yeah, I don't know what this guy's doing. I think he's just extending his plays, which, you know, this is now classed as slow playing, because you don't need to do these actions. You're doing it to, you know, drive up the clock, so to speak. Like, I didn't even know this can fail, so to speak. It says put a Pokemon or a basic energy card from your discard pile into your hand. It's not a you may, so to speak. So it's a bit like Earthen Vessel. You can fail a Vessel. I didn't know you could fail a Stretcher, which is weird. But no, they are 100% slow playing now, which I'm hoping if we can get the Wellspring going, we will use it to go for the game. There goes Double Blissey. But yeah, this opponent's being very disrespectful now. Like, if you don't have the game, just concede. Just go to a game 2, mate. Like, come on. I want to go to a game 2, because this deck is fun. Like, I enjoy this. I don't think I'm going to be turning my Bolt It list into this, but, you know, I could. I do like this list. It is very spicy, but, yeah. There's the Hydreigon. So you could have Rare Candy Hydreigon and just delay me further, but, well, he's slow playing like a trooper right now, so, you know. That is unfortunately what some opponents are like. It's a sad reality, but that is just the way of Pokemon TCG Live. You do meet people like this. So he's already down his Neo Upper, 2 Dark, and a Metal. So it is not looking good for my opponent. Latias top deck is good, but I do want this Energy Retrieval. So I'll attach to you. We will then Teal Dance to you. That's pretty good. And we will Bellowing Thunder. We will get rid of you. We only need 1. If you did just use Rigidify, I'd have had to have discarded 2 there, my friend. I'm not sure what my opponent's playing at, but, well, that's his decision, I guess. But, I mean, look at the clock difference, and that tells you, like, slow playing central. I understand he's a new player to the ladder and everything, like, you need to take some time to, you know, do your actions and stuff, but, I mean, failing a Night Stretcher... Okay, now you're just taking the mic. You would not Ultra Ball both your Hydreigons. Unless you have Fez. If you have Fez, that's different. But even then... Nah, this man is 100% taking the mic. And, well, I don't mind. I can sit here all day. I have the patience of a saint. And plus, I am only 2 prizes away from winning. If I top deck boss and you put that Blissey down, fair enough you can't right now, you are going to get gusted. I'm just trying to think, do we have enough energy left in deck to the point where we could Crispin and then Wellspring for game? Well, there's Sada. Sada's pretty useful. Okay, I'm going to check the deck a minute, because I think we might be able to do it. In fact, I don't need to. I just need to retreat this, do that, and yeah, we have game. We don't need to fanny around. Retreat into the Wellspring. Energy Switch. Do that. And then Torrential Pump. I'm going to rub your nose in it and knock out your other dino. That's what you get for wasting my time, fool. Eat that for all your slow playing. And that's a win against Hydreigon thing. I don't know what kind of list that was, but I get the idea, you know, like recycling with Blissey and stuff like that. I get that idea, but well, that wasn't really clever for my opponent because they definitely did make a lot of misplays there and also took the mic. But still, let's go to a game 2. And welcome back. We've now gone up to Tyranitar rank after that game. Very disappointed that the opponent was quite disrespectful there, just, you know, wasted more of my time. But at least we had the option to go for the Wellspring. I could have very easily started wasting their time, but then that just makes me look as bad. And, well, the fact that we get to use Wellspring in a Raging Bolt deck is already quite funny, to say the least. And we're going first. They're at Teal Ogerpon rank, so they're obviously doing quite well for themselves. Okay, we could start the Slither Wing, and I think we will. I'm happy to start the Slither Wing. Because at least we can Earthen Vessel for a fighting energy. Hawlucha, okay, that's fine. Well, that's very good. That is very good. Let's have a quick look at the prizes. So we've prized 1 Hoothoot, which is fine. We have prized our Wellspring, but that's fine. Other than that, we've prized both Crispin, believe it or not, so that's interesting. We've got a Vessel in there, we've got 4 grass, so we've prized a grass. We've prized 1 fighting as well. Okay, I can deal with that. So I will Vessel away the Ultra Ball, grab a grass and a fighting. I'll then Fan Call to Thin before we Teal Dance. Grabbing those boys of the industry. We will then Teal Dance to the Ogerpon. That's pretty alright actually. We'll attach to the Slither Wing and we will pass. It's not often I get to use Slither Wing as an attacker in these sorts of decks. But hey, I'll take it, you know. We get to have some fun, that's the important thing. It's always important to have fun in these matchups, you know, like it's always important to just have the fun that, you know, you can have. Like, we want to use our toolbox approach. Okay, it's Dragon Dusk. We can deal with that. That's not a problem. And an Iono. That's really unfortunate because we have all 3 Noctowl in hand, but that is completely fine with me. There's the Water Energy, but that doesn't particularly help us, and this hand is completely dead after this. Jeez, this hand is dead. I mean, we can Stomp off and discard top card in the deck. I mean, that is a line. But I would prefer to take a prize with Fan Rotom here. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So I'm going to put down the Latias. We will then Teal Dance to the Ogerpon. Energy Switch is useful, but we're not going to use that now. We'll go into the Fan, attach the Water Energy, put down the Stadium. Don't forget to do that, Joe. And then Assault Landing, take out the Hawlucha. Starting off our prize race. And there's our Wellspring. It probably won't come up in this matchup because obviously both our Crispin are prized. But it could. We could get there. And obviously our Water Energy is on the Fan. Obviously we've got Crystal in deck, so that could be a factor. If our Fan Rotom is knocked out, we could be okay. There's Hilda. Hilda's fine to see. Dracloak Neo Upper. So they might have Rare Candy Dragapult in hand. If they do, that's a problem. There's Neo Upper. That's quite risky to do right now. I don't agree with that. They may wonder if there's a water energy in the list, but if we get a top deck of energy, we can Wellspring, potentially. We just need... Well, we would need a Noctowl to actually do it, because we need a vessel. We need a vessel. And also another energy switch, so we need a little bit off of this top deck, but if we can get it, that would be really good. Another energy switch would also do it. Curse Blast, where's that going? On the Slither Wing? Okay, yeah, that makes sense, you know. He is my single prizer, and he does do 90 to himself. That does make sense. I don't think I agree with that choice, but, you know, it's one of those things to consider. Obviously, we have no way to heal the Slither Wing, but it's not the end of the world. I also don't think they should give me the Dreepy. If anything, you want to give me the Latias or the Monkey Dory, because the Monkey Dory resists fighting. We could actually take out the Monkey Dory with the Slither Wing, potentially. And just a pass. Okay, that's completely fine with me. That is actually pretty good, though. So I'll Energy Switch this fighting off onto the Wellspring. And we'll Iono. We need Energy Switch plus Energy Attachment. That's not it, but that does get us what we need, though. So we can grab a Noctowl. So let me check if it's in deck. It is in deck. Excellent. So we can go for the Wellspring KO, which is brutal for our opponent. So we need Energy Switch, and we need... I think that's it. We will grab another supporter. Because we did Iono for turn, which is fine. And I could grab Crystal, and we can just manually attach. Which, to be fair, that won't be a bad idea. I think it's better for our resources if we do that, because then we can grab Sada as well. Because we haven't manually attached. So that's the thought process here. Free retreat into the Wellspring. Torrential Pump. We will definitely shuffle energy in, and we will take out that Dracloak, please. Technically, it's better for us to energy switch there. Putting 2 fighting back into the deck could actually matter. But we just got a Crispin off the prizes and our third fighting. This deck is fun. I like this deck. It's very me, is all I'll say. I really do enjoy this. There's the Jamming Tower. We can get rid of the Noctowl there. That's fine. But no, this deck is naughty. I like this. This is really fun. Genuinely, this is really fun. Obviously, Jamming Tower means Crystal is offline, which is fine because we can just free retreat into Fan Rotom and start attacking. It's not the end of the world. So how much damage do we need to do to this Latias to knock it out? So 30, 60, 90. We're not going to get there, to say the least. We haven't even gotten a bolt down this whole game. If we get boss off the top, though... Well, in fact, no, we've used both our energy switch, so we can't. I was going to say Gus the Fez for game, but we can't. No, my opponent is probably fuming with me for having this in the deck. If he doesn't free retreat the Latias, I can start sobbing. No, he's going to Bidoof. That's fine. We can take a prize for the Fan Rotom. Itchy Pollen. Itchy, itchy, itchy. Okay. We have no energy in the bin, so we have to free retreat the Wellspring here. We can go for a Crispin, though, which is good. We can get you and you. Put the grass to hand. The lightning can go on the Wellspring, because it could matter. We will then Teal Dance. There's another Sada. I'm going to manually attach to the Wellspring. And we will Assault Landing. Taking out the Bidoof. Who says I need to Wellspring back-to-back turns, my friend? The only issue here, though, is if this Fan Rotom goes down, we have no way to recover the water energy right now. But honestly, I will take it. There's Blood Moon. Blood Moon is a threat. We could be in trouble here. There's Boss. Because we could actually knock it out with the Slither Wing, believe it or not. We could do that. He's going for the Wellspring. Understandable, Chief. I don't blame him whatsoever. This is probably his smartest play. Obviously, Blood Moon doesn't need any energy because we're on one prize, so that makes complete sense. I wouldn't be doing that in a realistic game. I'd be putting it here, but no, he can Blood Moon for game or for 240 here, take out the Wellspring. We could still win this next turn, but we do need a lot. We need, well, for a start, we need this fighting energy off the Wellspring onto the Slither Wing. And then we need Fez to get us a fighting energy. Because we can Fez after this knockout. But no, I like this list. This is nice. I might actually try this in person. I think I have a spare crystal in my playable cards binder. But nope, there's the Blood Moon for 240. Taking out the Wellspring, which has been a thorn in my opponent's arse. He takes 2 prizes. We promote the Latias. If we get Boss off the top as well, that would also win us the game. No, but that's fine. We can Nest Ball for the Fez. We're going to Fez first, because then it doesn't influx my decision. Flip the script. There's the fighting energy. We can Sada the fighting energy to the Slither Wing. Manually attached to the Slither Wing. Re-retreat into the Slither Wing. Burning Turbulence 240, which normally wouldn't knock out a Blood Moon, but thanks to the burn. Obviously, he takes a prize card here because of the knockout. I think he's going to take the mick in this one. But yeah, that is game, because obviously the 2 damage counters will finish off the Blood Moon. We have to promote, and then burn finishes it off, and we take our last prize. G freaking G. This deck is disgusting. Oh, I think I need to build this. This is disgusting. This is absolutely disgusting. We just bodied Dragapult. Wow, this deck is cool. I like this. This is really cool. Like, it takes what Bolt sometimes struggles with and just fixes that issue. And, you know, it gives you the extra edge that, you know, you couldn't normally have with a Raging Bolt list. But, yeah. So what did I think to the deck? So this, if it wasn't obvious with my, shall we say, my, you know, my commentary and everything, I really enjoyed this deck. This is a spicy Raging Bolt deck. It's one of those decks that you don't think will work, but it works really well. I know I have a spare Wellspring in my binder somewhere. As for Crystal, probably not, but honestly, I might just build this for my regular Bolt list. Like I said in the deck list, though, I do think a Koraidon instead of this Baby Bolt is probably better, because then you cover more bases. But other than that, this list felt really solid to play, really fun to play, and just, you know, it had the turbo potential that we needed still. Obviously, we do have to play a slightly higher boss count, but I can live with that. Obviously, there was a time where Bolt played Pokemon Catchers, so that is another thing that you could consider. Pokemon Catcher is a thing, and probably would be suitable in this deck list. It's just making the space. And obviously, it is a 50-50 chance. But, you know, 50-50 chance is better than Crispining for turn and not being able to Gust. Because sometimes your opponent, if they see a Wellspring, they'll put a Pokemon that Wellspring cannot knock out into the active, like Monkey Dory, which could make your job a little bit harder. Another card to consider as well is Iron Bundle. That could also be another card to consider. But honestly, this deck is really fun, and I heavily suggest you give it a try. Anyway, I'm going to leave it all to it for today. I know it's only 2 games, but, well, the Hydreigon game made me feel old after playing it. And, well, we got to body Dragapult, which is always nice. So, I'll see you next time.